Hello everyone, Rogue Fox here, and welcome back to another episode of our survival series. Today we are going to be taking on a couple of projects. The first thing I want to do is work on our hidey hole, or one thing I've been thinking about, do we want to call this the foxhole? I thought that sounded kind of cheesy, because Rogue Fox, foxhole, this is a hole, get it? But I don't know, I've kind of been accustomed to calling it a hidey hole. So, yeah, gotta think about that one. Anywho, let's take a look at what we've been doing since the last time we met. As I mentioned, I'm going to try to do most of my building on camera where you guys can see, but obviously I play during the week as well. And what I wanted to do while we had that gap was try to set the theme of what it is we're trying to do for this hidey hole. Now, as you can see here, we've added a couple bushes here on this side. We've added this little cool wooden frame just to give us a nice little entrance. Eventually, we're going to move these chests once we get ourselves settled inside the base. Now, if we take a look inside, the theme I've been trying to set, as I mentioned, we're trying to go for like a natural, organic look. If we come inside, our grass blocks finally have grown. I've turned those into path blocks, and then kind of just wrapped it around down here. And this is the room that I want to work on today, where our grass is almost complete down here as well, so that's going to be nice. Now, just to kind of take a look at this room, as I mentioned, we have our path blocks here. We got some wooden slabs with a little stair right there just to give some texture. But if we take a look around, you can see I've been trying to shape this room out using andesite stone, cobblestone slabs, and stairs on the ceiling. Up there, also threw in some leaf blocks as well, trying to give this some shape, some detail. And then if we take a look over here, there's this little area that I had set up in the last episode. If you saw that, that turned to grass. We added a little bit of grass to that with a little mushroom just to kind of give this some color. On the side, we got a little brown mushroom going as well. And yeah, I mean, that's the theme I'm trying to go for throughout this whole entire hole that we're creating, this base. And we're going to continue that on as we continue this project today. Now, another thing that we worked on as well was our waterfall over here. We did a cool little time lapse for that, and since then I've done a little bit more work adding some bushes all around, adding some grass blocks, and then trying to blend it into our hill a little bit better. So I had to do some shaping, some terraforming with some dirt blocks as well. I think it came together pretty nice. If we take a step back here, let's come up. I mean, it is blending a little bit better. I added these trees also to the side, also that tree there, just to kind of fill it in. We're going to work on this some more. Like I said, eventually we do want to run this all the way down into a little pond, which I think is going to look really cool. Now, during that time lapse, I was hearing a bunch of zombies. Excuse me, not a bunch. I'm lying about that. I heard a zombie for sure as I was digging up here, and I kept hearing it and hearing it throughout that whole time lapse. Just kept ignoring it. I figured, okay, there's a cave somewhere with a zombie in it. So I was eventually going to check that out. So the next day, I dug this area out, and if we come inside, you can see we have a zombie spawner. So, I mean, we have definitely lucked out in this series for the seed. We have two spawners nearby. I don't think I've shown you the skeleton spawner yet. So we have a zombie spawner right here. I mean, what are the chances of this cave generating like that with a zombie spawner inside? I thought that was pretty awesome. Now, I know I'm rambling on. We are going to get into our projects, but I do want to show you what the skeleton spawner is. So we have our zombie spawner right there, and then 20 blocks below, we have our skeleton spawner right here. So literally, our base is in between both spawners. So that's what we've been up to, and yeah, let's go ahead and get this episode underway. Last episode, we also built an automatic pumpkin farm. This was based off my latest tutorial on my latest automatic pumpkin and melon farm design, and it is working out pretty well. We added the fence gate I was talking about. Oh, there we go. We just saw that in action. And if we take a look below on how we're doing, we have ourselves about 2 stacks. So this thing is working out pretty well. One thing I mentioned last time is that when I create these tutorials, you kind of just have to take my word that you'll get results. But if we take a look down here, you can tell this thing is definitely producing, and was that another one? Yep. And we are getting our results, as you can see right there. So this is the room we're going to be working on today. And like I said, we want to continue this theme going here. So the first thing I'd like to do is probably get rid of a lot of the stone and turn this into dirt. So let's go ahead and get started on that. You can see that's the area that we patched up in episode 1. Now that we've got this all filled in with dirt, let's go ahead and start giving this room some shape. So let's kind of start working, kind of like what's going on up here. So let's start working with that. It's probably, we definitely need to block this hole up like that. So that looks pretty nice. Let's go ahead and add a little bit of detail up there. So I'm thinking maybe a dirt block there. Let's do a slab like that. Did I grab my andesite? No. I have diorite. I don't know why I have diorite. Andesite. Booyah. There we go. So let's go ahead. And what I like to do is I kind of like to mix in the different textures around. It looks like we're going to need a new pickaxe soon too. Just try to mix in these textures. Let's actually, I want to throw a slab right there. A slab like that. And then we can probably do, let's do a block of andesite right here. Okay, and let's go ahead. I'm thinking some leaf blocks, so let's grab that. Like I said, I was kind of sprinkling in birch leaves here and there just to kind of give it a little bit different color. So I think if we walk down here, I would like to see probably right there, there. I really have no pattern to how I do this. It's just kind of, you gotta feel this stuff out, and I need my shears. I don't want to be burning all my leaf blocks there. So let's go ahead. I think I want to break this one out, just like that. Just kind of, be a little random about it. Just kind of place blocks here and there, just kind of fill it in. And then we definitely will want something, we walk in, probably in this corner as well. So let's go ahead and work on our ceiling some more. I want to do like a little, let's see if we can get a little pattern going in the corner there. Do something like that maybe. Yeah, that doesn't look too bad. And then we want to do, let's see, something, kind of break this up a little bit. Let's make this dirt. So if we take a look, I just kind of take a step back, look at what's going on. Everything looks pretty nice to me. Probably, let's do another dirt block there. There we go. I don't know, it kind of just fills in. Like we come down, you can see this little design here, this little hole right here. It kind of just, oh, excuse me. It kind of just fills it in. So let's go ahead, let's grab our leaf blocks again. Let's try to let me just fill that in. I don't know. Actually, we'll take that one out. I kind of like the way that looks. So go ahead and grab leaf block. Kind of just follow the pattern right there, actually. Then probably put another one right there. Yeah, there we go. Cool. And then, let's see. We definitely need to cover this up. So we can knock this block out. Probably build that up. Okay, that doesn't look too bad. We still got some light shining through. It's kind of hidden. Yeah, that works. So we'll roll with that. And then, can we get that more texture up there? Nah. Right there. Probably a stair block. Like I said, it's just kind of feeling out what looks good. I really have no plan, really. That's kind of all I do for here. Maybe, let's see, we put something like that. Just kind of make it come together. Now let's go ahead, let's grab our shovel, start working our way down. So let's go ahead, do a little something like that. And then down here, we can start putting in, actually want to put a little, don't want to be too repetitive either. So let's go ahead, maybe do something like this. Okay. Now, let me go ahead, throw in these slabs, some stairs, and then we'll take a look at how that's going to look. Probably don't want that there. Probably throw this in the corner, do a little something like that. Kind of like what we have going on there, just to give it a little bit of texture. So I think that looks fine. Let me go ahead and finish this room up. I just want to give you guys an idea of how I built this. Let me go ahead and jump ahead so we can see what we have in the end. Oh man. Okay. So as I was digging, we got snuck up on by a witch. Man, I'm gonna have to do. I'm definitely gonna need to light this area up a lot more. That was crazy. I almost died, and I really, at this point, don't want to lose my 32 levels. Okay, so we finished. We jumped ahead because I would like to get into the skeleton spawner this episode. So we finished this area up. We got ourselves attacked by a witch, but we also got a piece of glowstone dust. Is that what it's called, right? Yeah, glowstone dust. Boom, there it is. I haven't had this in so long, probably since I played the console edition. Because now that we have an infinite nether, we really don't need blaze to drop glowstone dust, so it's actually been quite some time since I've seen this. Alright, so now let's take a look, try to get a full view of what we did here. So we have our area that was already finished prior to this episode, and we just worked on this area here, and I think it came together quite nice. I mean, I think it has some nice shape to it. Runs down here, we got our oak slabs that we set up with our stair, and I think overall it looks pretty good. So if we were to walk out from wherever it is we're going to walk out, when we get to that, yeah, that looks really good. So the next thing I wanted to do was work on our skeleton spawner. I know a few of you guys were pretty excited about that, so today I do want to get this done. Hopefully we have enough time. I tried to save enough time for this episode to get it done. If we take a look up, like I said, 20 blocks down, we're at level 51. I believe our ground was at 71. So this is a very convenient area for skeleton spawner. Now let's go ahead. We need to set up this room. So the first thing we need to do is, see, they gave us 2 blocks on each side. We actually need to have 4 blocks going all the way around, which makes this a 9x9 room. And I know someone asked about making this a tutorial after I had it finished. So I think that is a pretty good idea. I mean, I just kind of assume that everyone knows how to build a spawner, zombie spawner, skeleton spawner, spider spawner, but I realize that isn't so. Everyone has to start somewhere. So this episode is not going to be so much a tutorial. We're going to do some time lapses, so you're not seeing me dig this whole room out. But then I think I will look into making this some sort of tutorial in the near future. Now let's go ahead and get this room dug out. Welcome back. We have just finished up our 9x9 room. One thing to note when you're doing a project like this, especially a spawner, always double check your work. I've already done it, but just to show you what I mean, when I do a spawner like this, just to make sure I don't have 3 blocks on one side or 5 blocks on the other side, like I've done before, I like to come up from where my spawner is and then just check to make sure I actually have 4 blocks going out on each side. Now after you check that, the room's all set. 9x9 room's all ready to go. Now you kind of figure out what you want to do for your crusher, your softener, whatever you'd like to call it. I have an idea in mind already. So the plan is our hole is right here, right there, meaning that our base is out in this direction right here. So eventually I would like to run a staircase down, but also that means I want my skeletons to run down this way to my crusher as well. Now I gotta figure out which side I want to put it on. Maybe this side. We'll run them along down this way. And then the softener I want to use is something I've created already. It's the XP AFK hybrid softener, something like that. It was like a weird name I came up with. But basically what it does, it's a block swapper with a magma block and a regular block of our choice. XP mode means we have a regular block that they land on top of, and then we soften them with a crusher and just swing away and get our XP from there. Or we can switch to AFK mode, which I'm going to bring in my magma blocks. Let's pretend that this is going to be a magma block instead, so the block would swap out to a magma block. They would come up, drop down onto the lava block, or magma block, excuse me, and then just take a bunch of damage and eventually die. And what they'll do is they'll just drop their bones and whatever. So that's the idea. Yeah, so we got a little bit more digging to do. Unfortunately, I don't think we're going to get to the actual crusher itself this episode. Probably we're going to finish up our digging for this episode and then call it a day, but we'll definitely do it next time. So what I think we're going to do right now is just finish digging this out and just get everything prepped for our next episode. So let's go ahead and do that. So what I am doing right now is I am digging out our trench for our skeletons to come down. And I'm already on the next layer down, so our water source will be coming down from this side here. It'll push all the skeletons down this way like we talked about. And then when they hit this area, we're going to have a bucket of water, a water source, a water source right here that's going to come down. And after 8 blocks, we drop it down on the 8th block, so it comes down to here. And then it'll just keep flowing down and so on until they get to our little water elevator at the end. So that's the idea. I'm going to keep digging this out and then I'll show you what we have come up with. The thing I always mess up on when we start our water elevator is where to place the signs. You have to put these in the right spot so our waters connect up. So I believe it is, I think it's high, low, I think. So let's go ahead. Probably gonna need another bucket of water. Just want to check that out. You'll see what I mean in a second if we get it right the first time. So I'm gonna get that going. Get another water source here, and then we can actually let's go ahead and just break this out right now. Oops, that's definitely not my pickaxe. That runs down, then we get to a high-low, and then we put a water source right there. Yep, there we go. We did it the first time. So they'll come up, get to here, and then they'll naturally want to come up. So then they'll start coming up this way. And yep, perfect. So let's get out and let's set the rest of this thing up. I know I have the glass that I need. I probably should have made that. But yeah, let's try to get some glass and then go from there. Okay, so maybe this is turning into a slight tutorial. We already have a water source down there that starts a water elevator. I placed a sign right above that water source, placed in some glass, and then I'm going to put another layer of water like that, and then place another sign, and then let's go ahead, get some more glass up here, get more water, and then we're just going to repeat this process until we get to the level that we need to. Now, the tricky part is always, so you probably put some more glass there, so the water doesn't spill all over the place. We got that going. The tricky part is trying to figure out where, and I messed this part up a lot, figure out where I want, how high I want this to go. So what I'm thinking for this, I want to run this up, and then I'm going to run it across this way, and then down, and then hopefully we can build some sort of entrance to our base that way. And then I figured since this is pretty much open, it'd be a good place to have all of our redstone. Now, like I was saying, I am going to throw down some slabs here, so that way I can keep this room completely dark. That means that this is going to change the elevation of everything here. I don't need them to take any fall damage when I bring them up the water. So it's kind of finding that sweet spot of, I need about a 2 block a 2-block drop. So there. So I'm gonna need to dig up a little bit higher. 2-block drop right into our softener. Like I said, we're gonna be building the softener that I mentioned earlier, which doesn't require a drop. Grab a little bit more water here. Staircase myself back up. And yeah, I mean, I probably should have taken this into my test, like a test world first, but usually I do this all, by trial and error. So I imagine they'd come across, maybe if I break this one too, they come across and then drop. Let's see if that's gonna be the right height. Alright, so I threw down some slabs just to kind of simulate what the room is gonna look like when it's finished. And then, as I had imagined, we did get the correct height. So with this block here, I just knocked that glass block out and ran it down this way. So that way, let's go ahead and give you an idea. Skeletons are going to come down, get pushed by water, fall down here, come down our little water path up to our water elevator. They're going to come up like this, get pushed across, and then they're going to fall right here. Like I said, we don't want them to take fall damage. I will put a stopper there so no skeletons will come through while we're operating or running the crammer. And on this block right here, this is where we're going to have the crammer itself. So that's going to be for the XP mode. That's going to knock them down to 1 hit so we can get XP and not burn our sword. We can just punch them. And then, like I mentioned, this is going to be our block swapper right here. So yeah, I think we got it right on the first shot, which I don't do too often, so I'm pretty proud about that one. Now, we are going to do the redstone and the crammer in the next episode, so I think this is a good place for us to stop. And yeah, I mean, we got some things done. We dug out this area here. We got our little water trail path thing going to our water elevator over here. And then we got that set up, ready to go for our crammer to install all that redstone, which is going to be a fun little project. And we worked on our base. We got some things done today. With that being said, we're going to end the episode. I really hope you guys enjoyed. This has been Rogue Fox, and I'll see you next time. See you later.